Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by Bet365. I know what I'm doing right now for sure. Definitely. We got AJ, we got Eric, we got Rudo coming to see you live. The Avs on the SEGABABA taking on the Ottawa Senators, finishing up the Canada part of their road trip. How important is it tonight? They lost the other night against Montreal. Is this you must get those 2 points back, or is this you kind of take whatever comes to you here?
That girl just used the E-Rod move, the Evan Rodriguez shootout move.
Yep.
Who did?
Whichever BU girl that was that just scored. That was so cool.
BU scored?
Yeah. P.S. He used that move in game against the Ducks the other day.
You're
know what you know and stick to it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Lily Welchie.
Yeah, that ruled. Sorry.
Watching the bean pot right now, chat. Anyway, how important is tonight? Must get 2 points, need 2 points, want 2 points, whatever happens, happens.
Need 2 points.
Okay.
Need 2 points.
Yeah.
All right.
I think this is one of those we used to talk about these a lot the last couple of years. Is like these are character revealing games. Your back's against it. Your lineup's banged up. You're on a SEGABABA. They're not. They're at home. Your backup goaltender's in. Hell, your third string goaltender might be in. Whatever you would consider Annunen versus Prosvetov, whatever.
Which at this moment we still don't even know.
Yeah, we don't know, but it is all signs point to it being Justus Annunen being in net tonight. So for me, I'm just going to assume he is.
I'm hoping.
If it changes, then it's Prosvetov. To be honest with you, it does not change my feeling about the game. Whichever guy it is.
It is Annunen.
Agree.
It is an uphill battle, no matter what in this game, just in terms of circumstances are not in your favor.
Yep.
But you're the better team. So,
True.
They get Miles Wood back tonight. I am assuming.
Annunen is in for sure. I'm still looking for confirmation on Wood.
Yeah. If they get Miles Wood back tonight, those are fresh legs that move real fast. So
real fast.
And he's going to want to make a difference. He's going to want to get back in there. And so that's nice. That helps.
But like you said,
it doesn't hurt. That's for sure.
No, you just said it. Need the 2 points. Yeah, I was still bitter about yesterday. You know what I mean? Like it's funny. Like it just doesn't go away, right? The competitive juices don't go away, and I just thought it was such a dumb way to lose a game. You know what I mean? I hate it. But you're gonna have some of those in the season. So everyone has them, especially against a banged up team as well, Montreal. Like, you know what I mean? It was two banged up teams going at it and whatever. But the beauty of it is you have a game the next day, you can forget about it, move on. And that's what's kind of nice is you don't have to wait a week like football. You just get on the bus last night, get to the 20-minute flight and get to your hotel room, get up, hang around the hotel a little bit, have a little meeting. Don't go to the rink. It's too far in Ottawa, by the way. Too far. The rink is like in Castle Pines, from downtown. So they didn't make the track there. Only the guys that are scratched, but I don't think there's any scratches, right? With a depleted lineup, I'm assuming that no one made it up there.
Wood is in, so
yeah.
Caleb Jones presumably ends up being the scratch.
Yeah, but then it's like probably game time. Yeah. So they're probably like, you know what? First of all, the equipment guys love it because then you leave them alone all morning. They don't have to do laundry for the morning. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of work, So kind of nice. You get yourself ready to go, and then you get back at it. And, again, this is a team that you should beat. I don't care if the lineup's bad. And when I say bad, it's depleted.
Yeah.
There's still a team you should win.
Yeah.
It's a good team. Ottawa Senators are a good team. We saw it like last week, right? They're just all over the map a little bit. But if the puck goes their way, they can make plays. They can score goals. So it's a tough opponent tonight. It's not a walk in the park, especially on, like Rudo says, a SEGABABA.
Well, just the last couple of years, Sens have given the Avs fits.
Yeah.
for whatever reason, different teams, just one of those teams that seems to give the Avs tougher games than you would expect given their reputations over the last few years.
Yep.
The Avs have won some of those games, but they have been in some.
They've been some wild rides for sure.
There have been some high-scoring affairs between these two teams, and this is certainly one where you're like, look, they should walk in thinking we have to score 4. Yep. And if they score 4 and they didn't need all 4 of them, great. That would be nice.
Make people breathe.
Yeah, and you obviously want a big game out of Annunen. I mean, the guy is looking for opportunity. Okay, well, here it is.
The door should be wide open for that guy.
Yeah. I mean, Prosvetov has very obviously not earned any trust with the coaching staff whatsoever.
Yep.
Yeah.
It feels like the coaching staff is not playing. It's playing Georgiev every night, looking up at the front office, watching the game from the box up there and going, "You give me another one and I'll try."
But you're saying they don't trust. I agree with you. I think we all agree with that. But I think it's the same thing with Eustace. You know what I mean? I don't think the trust is there either.
Of course not. Otherwise, Prosvetov wouldn't even be here.
That's right.
Wouldn't
You're
even be here.
Reading my mind there. And I think that when those things happen, then you grab the bull by the horn, or you grab the bat and let's go. And you show them. We say that all the time. Make them make decisions.
Yeah.
It's not different for Eustace Annunen. Make a difference. You make a difference, you play great. Your team's banged up. It's a back-to-back. You're fresh. You haven't played an NHL game this year, correct? I mean, Eustace has not played, right?
Correct.
I mean, preseason, but since last year, get out there, make them make decisions. How does it start? Probably maybe get another start, and then maybe move the other guy out of there, and you keep the spot, and then you don't... they don't go get another guy. I don't know.
Hey, look, what's your favorite goalie phrase? 2 or less.
That's it. 2 or less,
God.
you win the game. I mean, we'd like to say 3 or less.
2 would be
A whole new world.
just 2. I mean, a week ago the Avs had a shutout, but it's so anomalous given the rest of the year that it's just like, just stop at 2.
Yeah.
Please.
I'm sure this is part of your 3 big keys for tonight, E. So let's get into it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. Well, take care of your own end. I just talked about it. The Sens, they can score goals. Those guys have some good players. Stützle, Kachuk, Norris, he's injured, but they have some good young talent.
Again.
Yeah, he's out again. I don't know what he's got, but I know he's out. Obviously, it's a back-to-back. Know your assignments. So when you're tired, just know out there, be focused, know your little assignments each shift, and know who you're going up against. Like I said, these guys can score goals. Number 2, legs feed the wolf, right? Get involved early. Dictate the skating. You just said it. Wiles Wood sounds like hoping. Let's cross our fingers that he's in, right?
Would be even cooler if they snuck MacKinnon into that, but I doubt it.
This is not the Vegas Golden Knights, they would tell us. God, that's wrong. Get in on the forecheck, Sens are one of the worst defensive teams. As much as they are good in the offensive zone, they are not good in their own end. They're not. Number 3, everybody ropes, everybody rides. Pull in the same direction tonight. That you need a full team effort, no passengers. I don't care if you're Dermy playing 5 minutes or Mac playing 30 minutes tonight. Everybody, it's total team effort. Precious 2 points. AJ just said it. You need the 2 points. Those are precious from the goaltending on out. So Eustace, you're in net. Let's cross our fingers. Do your job. D's, do your job. Forwards, do your job. You know what I mean? I just wrote down there, in my own notes, body or 2 back yet, right? Again, we're hoping that Miles is in, and maybe next game it's going to be, MacKinnon, right? So right now, let's just do the job until these guys get back, till we get a little bit of help, and we'll go from there.
All right. So my question is, you have the top guys who played nearly 30 minutes last night. You have a lineup with a bunch of moving parts and pieces tonight. Who's got to go to the Circle K and eat? Who's got to get in? Is it Is it MacKinnon and Rantanen going over there to refuel on some snacks and get going? Or is it one of these new guys making the pit stop? Who's got to eat tonight?
I'll give you first pick again.
Ross Colton.
He can't keep getting away with it.
I'm sorry, but Ross Colton, you know that your top guys are going to do something. You know that they're going to. And when he plays the way that he did last night, because when I went back and rewatched it, we did not give Ross Colton enough love. He was really, really good in that game last night. You need more of that. You continue. You know, if Ross Colton really starts taking a serious step forward, does it make this whole 2C conversation easier? No, but it maybe lessens the desire to go and pay an arm and a leg for an Elias Lindholm.
You can go out and get a more mid-rangey piece.
Exactly, and we've talked about the balancing act of, hey, maybe you go and get
Henry.
Exactly, a Henrique where one of them's your 2, one of them's your 3. You don't feel strongly about either. You feel better about it than you currently do, and that would make more sense if Ross Colton continues to step up and play well. I want to see him score more goals.
Yep.
I'll give you second pick.
He had the game tying goal on a stick last night on the back door on that backhand.
And couldn't finish.
Couldn't finish it, and it's a concern for me. The number of chances that he has had this year that have not gone in. It reminds me of Ben Myers last year. A guy that is always on the doorstep. The puck is always on his stick, and he's just not putting it in the net. Yeah. And they need that. I mean, it was like a third of his goals this year, empty net goals. So the numbers are a little deceiving. You need more from him. You just need more and more and more. Certainly until they figure out who the real 2C is, you need more from him. And so I'm going to continue to say he's your key here, under the assumption that your top guys are going to be good.
All right.
Understandable.
Fair.
I'm going to take Mikko on this one.
All
Not
right.
that Mikko wasn't great the other night. Not that it was some, you need X amount more from him. But he needs to put pucks into the net. He's a guy who arguably should be the Avs' best goal scorer based on the ability he has with his shot. The cute stuff is awesome when it's working and he can set up teammates and it all looks so pretty, whatever. No. Mikko, go be a moose. Go run through some dudes. Go put a puck in the back of the net yourself. Go do it, because the Avs don't have the horses for other people to be doing it on a regular right now. They need Mikko to be the guy putting the puck in the net, not just the guy creating goals. So I'm going with Mikko. E, who you got?
God. I mean, yesterday was Makar. I'm leaving the top guys alone. I'm going to be more on edge. Like Ross is, it's an on edge pick, right? Mikko is a great pick. You know what I mean? I'm going Sam Girard tonight. That's what I'm going with.
Tough finish for him last night.
Yes, that's why I'm picking him. It was a tough finish last night back in Montreal. I'm going with a better game from Sammy tonight, and I'm going with him that's going to go eat.
Get hungry.
He's going to get hungry.
None of us takes Eustace Sonnen in.
Well, I didn't know if he was in or... I mean, is he in for sure? Or?
He's in. He's in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's his
sorry.
game.
Yeah, that would have been perfect. Yeah, I still didn't know. I said we're crossing our fingers.
Everybody else has got to eat. Eustace has got to gobble up pucks. All right? It's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. Play the way that he played when we just saw him the other day. He does that, he'll be fine.
He'll win tonight
Yeah,
if he
he'll
plays
be
like
fine,
that.
man.
That was Who's Gonna Eat, presented by Circle K. If you got to eat, make sure you get yourself down to Circle K. Get the Inner Circle app and check out all their weekend specials to pick up your game day snacks Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. They have drinks too. Get in with it. Inner Circle with Circle K. Save yourself a ton of money and get delicious. Oh, it's not on camera, is it? It doesn't quite fit in there. I've been eyeing those sour gummy worms over on the rack that you guys can't see. Might have to snack on those during the game. We'll see. Get it with Circle
Gross.
K. Yeah, well, I know we're not doing a watch along today. It's unfortunate. Colorado. You saw a game against Montreal where it was pretty fast and loose. Again, obviously the Avs have some lack of depth in their forward core, to say the least.
Yeah.
So you're going to live with what you're going to live with there. When do you start looking at this season for the push to the playoff seeding? Is that not till after the All-Star break? Or does it start on this road trip, essentially?
Trade deadline.
Okay, so even later.
Yeah, because trade deadline is when teams more or less finalize their rosters.
That's true.
You know, this is the team that we are going to be trying to go into it with. It's roughly 20 games. That's 40 standings points that are still available. And I think that at that point, you know, if you're within a couple, like if you're 8 points back, you're probably gonna have a hard time catching a good team. If you're, I want to say 5 or less, you could realistically look at that team and say, over 20 games, we can catch them. Yeah. So I would just say trade deadline. You care about it, obviously.
Of course.
You have to keep winning games. The Avs are at 50 some odd points. They're 50 away from where they want to be. You got a lot of work to do. You got a lot of winning to do.
So my point being, and look, obviously caveated by just because they're injured now doesn't mean they'll be healthy later. But for the Avs to be pushing through some guys out of the lineup right now, it's not the worst thing in the world.
No.
Get through this stretch.
Yeah.
Obviously, Wood coming back tonight. Lehkonen should be here in the near future.
Byram's should be on his way back.
Yeah.
He's been skating around too, you know, doing the thing.
And whatever happens down the line with Val, too, should be back at some point this season, you would think.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can like gray his name out.
Yeah.
Put him in the Kovalenko at some point. We hope to see this player this year.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, even Wood and Lehkonen. We've been complaining about the fourth line the last couple of games. Well, that's 2 spots.
Yep.
You push everybody down.
Yeah.
You have a fourth line again.
Your fourth line goes from Caleb Jones to
Caleb
Kivi
Jones,
Ronta.
Frederick Olofsson, and Curtis McDermott to Andrew Cogliano, Frederick Olofsson, and Yoel Kiviranta. You just feel a little bit better.
Pretty big upgrades.
You just feel a little bit better about the difference in your lineup with just those 2 guys.
E, I know you're not a standings watcher. You're not a scoreboard watcher. When does it start to matter?
I mean, I always say, like, remember I used to say, like, you know, I think you start watching a little bit at 40, you know, just to watch, just to know where you're at. But I always say 60 is when, okay, you might start scoreboard watch. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the way I've always felt. Some guys are crazy and they just look every day, you know what I mean? And more nuts about it and like, oh, they care, live and die by the standings, you know? I just feel that sometimes the amounts of games are so different, you know what I mean, between teams, and that it's like, it doesn't really make sense to watch, you know? But I do believe, just to go with what AJ was saying about the other point he was making, is trade deadline is when really you tighten the screws up, right? And this is when you just tighten the screws up in every aspect, on your special teams, on your, you know, defensive play, on your scoring touch, on you know, gearing up for the playoffs, anything, you know? So it's like, I think trade deadline is big. This is who we're going with. This is what the crew we have. And it wears on guys too at times, because when they hear names and stuff, it's just stinks. It's lives.
You can breathe a little bit once you're through it. Yeah.
I think it's just easier. You tighten the screws, you go. And, you know, it's just a little bit left before you get there. But those points are just so important because it dictates what you're going to do at trade deadline.
Of course,
right?
of course.
You know? So if teams go on a slide, then they'll be sellers.
So if you're really not locking in until the trade deadline, AJ, you mentioned this the other day, these last 5 games leading up to the All-Star break, just get through them. Just survive.
Yeah.
Right now, if you're Colorado.
Yeah, you go 3-2 in these last 5 games.
You're okay.
You're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do better than that. That's
Bonus.
Awesome.
better.
Not complicated. Let's get into my bets for the day then. I took the Blame Canada parlay.
Hell yeah.
Taking Colorado over Ottawa, New York over Calgary. Or no, is it Arizona over Calgary? Yeah, Arizona over Calgary and New York over Winnipeg as my 3 bets. If you want to add some extra spice into it, Edmonton is playing Toronto, so you can pick which part of Canada you like more.
Straight up
Hell yeah.
wins, right?
Suck it, Canada.
All straight up, yeah. All
So
straight
Colorado,
up, plus 1,000 for the parlay.
Islanders, Arizona.
Your big ask is the Islanders there. You need the Islanders to beat the Jets to have a good angle on this
Hell yeah.
one. But got to have a little fun with it. You got to blame Canada sometimes, just like South
I do it
Park.
all the time. It's fine.
I mean,
if you want to blame Canada, do it
CHL
with
is overrated.
Bet365. Hey, there you go. Facts.
USHL, way better.
Okay, now you're pushing it.
Hardly.
USN TDP, I could hear that argument.
They're part of the USHL.
Not going here.
Kinda.
Bet365. Sign up today with code DNVR365. When you do that and put $10 in your account, not only will you get $150 in bonus bets when you bet at least $5, you'll also be able to get a free DNVR shirt. Take a screenshot of your account with $10 in it. Send it over to promo@thednvr.com. We'll send you a coupon code for a free DNVR shirt. I got, you can't really see because I'm wearing my hoodie, but I got a Loch Ness Monster shirt on tonight underneath it. You can get that
Nice.
one. You can do a ton of other options, Avs or not Avs. Nuggets are also playing tonight. If you want a Joker shirt, you can get some of those. Plenty of options. So go check it out. Go put that $10 in at Bet365 with code DNVR365. Of course, you must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. And if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER today. This is kind of a topic that I want to touch on before we wrap up here. That's maybe a little bit bigger picture than just tonight. But is the Avs' time on ice problem starting to spiral out of control?
No.
I understand you're dealing with Ryan Johansson and you just kind of have to deal with that until you solve it by getting another player.
No, it's very, very obviously just an extreme right now.
Okay.
Nathan MacKinnon this season is averaging one more shift than he did last year.
Okay.
So the concern over burnout, I think, is greatly, significantly, hilariously overblown if you remember the comically dominant version of Nathan MacKinnon in the playoffs last year. You also consider that this is their toughest stretch of games in terms of games and number of days.
True.
They have a much slower schedule in terms of pace in March and April in the lead up to the postseason. They, as long as they actually do get a MacKinnon and a Miles Wood back, I think that they will have way better balance in their forward. I mean, when you're missing a third of your forward core, and it's not
you
from
just
the
gotta play
bottom,
'em,
they're
yeah.
scattered throughout all of your lines.
Honestly, most of your second line.
There isn't a lot of trust there, obviously, and that's the difference.
what makes you say that?
Yeah, that's the difference. You know, if obviously if Nichushkin were still available, you would start to feel like, oh, outside of the 2 seed, this is just the top 9 they will open the postseason with, minus Kovalenko. So, you know, like they're not even. It's just not the same.
Yep.
As like earlier this year, it was fine. This is like where it is right now. If they continue to play 28 minutes a game, it's completely out of control. Yes, but this is a very temporary. Like I said, they're just trying to get to the All-Star break. You're just trying to get to that. You're just trying to get to that point. You've got 5 more games of this. It should get better. If it doesn't, then it's completely and solely on Jared Bednar. But this season has not been the grind that it was last year. Every day has not been the same problematic. Oh, God, we're missing 16 guys out of our lineup. You know, we don't. Everything is miserable. That's not this year's team. This year's team has not had the mental nonsense of it. So you're saying, you know, over the last, I want to say 3 weeks, it's been too much. Sure. And I don't feel like that's arguable. It's been too much.
But you don't expect it
you
to
look at the
continue,
circumstances of those 3 weeks and you say he was, you know, MacKinnon specifically was averaging right around maybe even a little bit less than what he was last year before lots of this
They didn't
started.
have a choice. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, you have the choice, but
Well,
you make it easier when your fourth line is not Curtis McDermott and Caleb Jones and Frederick Olofsson. So I think, yeah, it's a problem. Like, and Bednar just has to live with some of this as a bumpy road with some of these other guys that you just have to live through. I think he just needs to get over it and just needs to do it. You know, there are some games where last year you look at the Cale Makar playing 28 minutes, whatever. He learned that harsh lesson. He can't do that every night.
He'll run out.
You
Yeah.
can pick your games,
sure.
but his game was much better when it was 24 minutes. You would love for MacKinnon and Rantanen to come down to 22.
Yeah.
And there,
Just get off the ice on the power play after a minute. There's your minutes
Eric's
right there. I mean,
pet
that's all it
peeve
is.
there. Yeah.
I mean, if you
No,
had,
but that's all it is.
This is
That's
also speaks to the depth of it.
Yeah.
Why would you even play a second power play unit right now?
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
You know,
I
like
agree.
right now, it's exacerbated. Earlier in the season, when you had all the guys available, it was stupid. And now you're like, this is just...
You can't even run your 3D that you want to run.
Are you just going to waste the last 40 seconds of every power play because you're going to run out there with... It's not even... It's Ryan Johansson and Miles Wood and Logan O'Connor.
It's a tough power play unit.
Like, that's your alternative right now. So it is the margins. And you take 40 seconds off Nathan MacKinnon's time. And he's almost exactly where he was last year. And so you're saying that margin... It's there. It's right there.
The one other thing I would say here is 28 minutes too much. Yes. But Nathan MacKinnon also has 70 points in 44 games. If he says he's good to go, you put him out there.
Yeah. And you know who else is loving it? Your boy, Jonathan Drouin. He's been playing like 27 minutes a night the last 10 games. He's never played 27 minutes in a game in his life.
He's handling it.
That's what I'm saying. He's loving it. It's awesome. It's good to see. It's fun to see. And again, those minutes are a little skewed with that freaking power play that they just, they do the math. 5 power plays, that's an extra 5 minutes that they're playing. You know what I mean? Think about it. Like, their heart rate's really not going up. You know what I mean? Like, it's just they're waiting and controlling the puck. So they're really just playing, 24 minutes,
Yep. All right. Nuggets got to do their pregame as well. So we got to wrap this thing up. No watch along today, but we will be live post-game breaking down however this game goes. So join us for that. Like and subscribe here on YouTube so you can find us. We appreciate y'all, and we will talk to you after the game.
We all silly like the mayor.